Welcome back to Golden Woodworks. My name is Brent, and this is part 2 of the Walnut staircase built-ins. I'm going to start out this video by cutting the angle on all of these vertical pieces that will be dividing each unit. The way I'm going to do that is I've got this bottom piece perfectly level, and I've got this piece cut out. This is 1 inch, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to butt this into this piece here, because this right now matches the angles within 0.1 degrees of what's actually in the house. So say if I start the vertical divider right here, I'll shoot a line up and I'll hold it right on this green line, and then I'll use this to mark a line across my piece, and that will tell me the exact angle to cut it and the exact length that these need to be all the way down, because I can just follow this all the way down. So basically I don't have to do any math before, but I can just hold my piece there and mark it, and it will tell me exactly what I need without all of the brain work. So really, when I built this temporary structure here, it was only to scale down the shelves to fit in the opening, but it's actually helping me with this step as well by finding the angle for me that I need. So that's a little bonus that I didn't plan on. So if you can see, my angles that I've written down there is 54.3 degrees for this top angle and 126.2 degrees for this bottom angle. And I've built this pretty good because right now if I butt that into that corner, I'm showing 54.4, so 0.1 degrees off. And that could be because the walls in the house weren't perfectly straight. This only references like 16 inches, so it's about as close as I can get. So I'll just start with the shorter end down here because I can use my square to make sure this is obviously square to the bottom. On the rest of them, I'll have to use the laser because this square won't be accurate when it starts getting, 70 inches up, and I've only got 12 inches to reference off of. So this will be an easy way to show you my proof of concept. I've got it set there, it's square. I'm just gonna use my gauge block here, and then I will mark across here a couple of times. So now the mark that's on here, if you can see it, that's the angle I need and the exact length I need. So now I just have to do that all the way up and should be good to go. Alright, so I got all those lines transferred. Now I just need to cut those. I'll probably clamp these together and cut them at the same time just so that the angle is a perfect match going down. Alright, we've got all those angles cut on these pieces. I don't have the other ones staged because those won't stand up by themselves. So you can kind of get the idea here. I've got those angles cut now, and then my grain is going along and then it runs up. Alright, so I've got all these pieces cut except for this one. I just wanted to show you, these were the same board, so when I cut the angle on it, but when I got to the last board, I marked it and realized how close I was to this being too short, because I cut this board to length days ago at this point. So yeah, if I cut that board any shorter, this whole thing would have been too short and I would have had to change out this piece for another piece, which I don't have, by the way. Yeah, that was a close one. That was a close one. Present me has learned from past me that I need to go ahead and sand all of these and put finish on the insides of all of them before I assemble them, even though I really want to assemble them right now, just so I can finally see the whole thing together. But I know it's going to be way easier to finish these now because they do go up to a pretty sharp corner, and I don't know how I'm going to get finished in there because I'm just using Rubio monocoat, so it's got to be hand applied. I can't spray it. All right, we're getting those sanded up, all the pieces over there. I'm gonna take a break from sanding for a little while and work on the door. I've got the boards laid out how I want them. I think they flow together really nice. We're ready now to start applying the finish to the insides of all of these cabinets. I'm doing this right now because I do think it'll be much easier than if these were all put together and I'd have to work around all the corners and everything. So I'm gonna do it right now while they're all laying flat and I can just buff right over them. And I'll be using Rubio Monocoat Pure for the finish. In case you're wondering, solo cups are not acetone resistant. Not sure why I thought that would work. If you're wondering why I needed acetone, I had epoxy on the end of this Forstner bit and I was trying to get it off and it proceeded to melt the cup. So wear gloves when you're dealing with that stuff. All right, we've got the Rubio put on all of those, and I've just staged up all of my veneers back here. That these were the offcuts of all of the resawing that I did. And I was hoping there would be enough, and it looks like there is. I'll just leave it at it looks like enough. These are actually pieces from the boards that made up this door. So I'm gonna try to figure out what goes in line with this grain and match it up there, even though it'll be two separate pieces. It's kind of like a puzzle. I have to figure out which grain goes where to match up with these boards here. This is the best I could come up with. I've got it all. This is one piece, this is book matched, and this is close to book match. So after I get all these glued up, I'll just cut them down to size and fit them up there in a way that they flow through with the door. So we're just hooking all these pieces together and putting them in this opening. And so far so good. It looks a little tight right now. Well, it is tight right now, but it's because they're not plumb yet. So when I move farther this way, when I move farther to the right, I've got more clearance there. Alright, so I've just got all the shelves that will be permanently fixed in place installed. So now we're finally seeing all these parts come together that I've just been looking at forever. So we'll have a shelf here that'll be removable, and then two shelves here that will be removable, and the door will break behind this shelf, so the seam will be back here, and then it'll swing inwards that way. The shelves will just pop out. But yeah, it's starting to come together now. So you just saw me cut a straight line on these. Now I need to rip them to 2 inches because that's going to cover up. It'll be my trim that will butt into the baseboard and into the top piece to cover up this gap here. All right, there we have it, 2 inches. This is a sample piece I made with the roundover already on it. And then once I get these fastened together, they'll be tighter like so, and then this will cap over the front. And that'll be the finished look. But I've got the door staged up. It's not attached yet on the hinges, but I just needed it there so I could figure out the triangle up there. I've made it a few days ago, but it was actually the wrong size because I had the door in the wrong spot, because I wasn't sure where that shelf would be. But I was able to save the pieces that were too short, and then I could just slide them down and add another piece on the end to make it the right height. I've got that glued up over here, and I started working on my back panels. I've got all those cut down. I've got the rest fit in over here, and then these just decided to blow over, so I just left them there. All I can say is if I didn't pre-finish all of these, I would be absolutely cursing myself right now. Alright, as you can see, I've got my triangle piece installed up here to cover that up, and it flows really nice with the door. So I've got that installed up there, and I've got my temporary alignment structure taken down, installed 2 removable shelves here with shelf pins, and then 1 down here. I've got my door installed. That works really well. I've got the 2 magnets recessed in the back. So there's a magnet right here that catches this magnet, and you don't see it from this side. With this door shut, there's no way you'd know that that was a door. Now I'm just wasting time talking because I really don't want to drill into this for my shelf pins, but I better get it done. Well, I didn't think this day would come, but that's all I can do until I can take it over to the house to install it, which will be tomorrow. So I guess the next thing you'll see is a few clips of me carrying it in and putting it all together. I don't know who framed this, but I'd like to be friends with them. Let's start with the big one first. It's hitting the baseboard over here, so I gotta put that in and then slide that over, and then put that one I just took out back in. And a piece of cake. So originally there was a casing that was going to go all the way around on the outside like a traditional door casing would be. But now we've opted to trim it along the inside here and butt it into the wall all the way around. And then you can see I've got it spaced just right down there for the casing to slip behind the baseboard on both sides. that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching that very long and complex journey. This is Calvin Woodworks. My name is Brent. We'll see you in woodworking POV number 7.